According to the Equal Justice Initiative's report on lynching in America, over 4,400 racial terror lynchings occurred in the United States between 1877 and 1950. These acts of racial terror were used as tools to enforce Jim Crow segregation and protect a system of white supremacy after the abolition of slavery following the Civil War. 4,084 of these documented lynchings occurred in 12 states across the South, including 338 in Texas. And on this day, 136 years ago, one of them happened in our city of Dallas. Racial terror found 25-year-old William Allen Taylor on September 12, 1884, when a white mob wearing masks lynched the young black man near the Trinity River. Mr. Taylor was born in Montgomery, Alabama, and had made his way to Dallas in the early 1880s, where he was said to have worked as a waiter, cook, glass washer, and artist. After 2 years in Dallas, he was arrested for robbery and assault after several mistaken accusations for the same crime in the summer of 1884. After word spread that a mob was coming to lynch Taylor, the sheriff removed him from the Dallas County Jail and made for the train station so that he could be transferred to Waco. On the way, the sheriff's wagon was intercepted by 9 members of the mob, who kidnapped Taylor and took him back to the city. Once they had joined the large mob in Dallas, Mr. Taylor was lynched from a tree near the Trinity River Basin as he protested his innocence. His body was left hanging as the mob dispersed around 10 p.m. that evening, and news of the murder sent shockwaves throughout the black communities of Dallas. There is no evidence suggesting anyone was ever arrested or prosecuted for the lynching and murder of William Allen Taylor on September 12, 1884. As was common in the South, white communities sought their racial dominance in lynching as a tool to terrorize black communities. This dominance, first established through slavery, was restored through blood and terror after the Civil War. Politicians, the white church, and the press all promoted the idea that black men in particular were dangerous criminals. They intended to divide Texas along racial lines during a period when farmers of all races were losing their farms and sinking into debt and sharecropping. White racial dominance, punctuated with mob violence, would continue to evolve throughout our history. Ripples of this injustice remain present to this day. We realize it is our responsibility to understand this history so that we can help build sustainable change and heal the wounds left in its wake. This begins by remembering the victims of racial terror in our city. Over the next year, our coalition will work with the Equal Justice Initiative, a nonprofit organization founded in Montgomery, Alabama by Brian Stevenson, that is committed to ending mass incarceration, recognizing the victims of racial violence and lynching, and changing the narrative about race in the United States. As an Equal Justice Initiative coalition, we are dedicated to memorializing the victims of lynching in our county by working to uncover their stories and fostering meaningful dialogue about race and justice in Dallas. This collaboration will allow us to participate in a community remembrance project associated with the EJI National Memorial for Peace and Justice, and we will dedicate historical markers and a memorial to the memory of lynching victims in our city.